This eyeshadow technique works on everyone, every skin color, every age, every eye shape. It does not matter. I've got you covered. There's not a single person that I haven't tried this look on that it doesn't look incredible on. So I want to show you how to do it today. We're going to rewind back the time to do some old school tutorials today, but I want to make sure that you leave this tutorial learning something new that you didn't know. So pull out your makeup goodies. I'm going to show you some amazing techniques that will help you feeling glamorous for every day. So let's do the face first, and then I'll put a timestamp below, guys, if you want to see just how to do the eyes. But I want to show you what I'm doing now to kind of stay on trend and look very fresh and dewy. So I'm putting down a primer first. This is the Lancome La Base Pro. I really like this primer. And I just use the Anissa buffing bronzer brush just to kind of buff it into the skin. It gives me a beautiful canvas for my foundation to sit on top. If you guys hear snoring, that's the dogs, all three of them in here, and they snore like freight trains. And they don't leave my side. They follow me everywhere. I can't even go to the bathroom in peace. So primer is down. I'm going to tackle these eye bags going on here. I really love the Chanel color corrector. This is the one in peach. And I put a little bit here under my eyes just to kind of counteract that blueness. And then I use the Anissa angle concealer brush. And I'm just going to buff this under here. Oop, did my earring just fall out? Let's take the earrings out so they don't get in the way. Now let's do the foundation. You all know that I love the NARS Sheer Glow. It's a beautiful dewy finish foundation, but it has medium coverage. So for me, when I'm wearing full face of makeup, it gives me the best of both worlds. It gives me coverage, but it gives me the dewy look. I take my Anissa Pinnacle foundation brush and I put a couple pumps on here. This is the color medium 1.2. It's probably gonna be a little dark for me. Give me a minute, I'm gonna blend it out. So I'm gonna buff this into the skin. Let me show you the finish that it gives you guys. Do you see that? How it evens out my skin tone, but look at that dewiness to the skin. It looks so beautiful. Okay, now I know a lot of people are gonna give me shit for this because this doesn't seem practical, but I'm telling you guys, I'm the most clumsy person on the planet. So when I say, like, anytime I wear white clothes, I'll be the one that has like stains on them, dog hair, like you name it, I will have it on there. But when I wear foundation on the chest, I lock it down so good, it does not budge. I need you to trust me on this. So here's why I put foundation on my chest and not just my neck. Do you guys see all this sun damage right here? When you have such a flawless finish to the face and then your chest is speckly like mine, it's obvious that you have a full face of foundation. I want it to look seamless. So I bring it down to my chest so that way this is smooth as well. It's not just about color, it's about texture. So take a pump of foundation and on the foundation brush, and I literally just buff this in. I like how I put on my jewelry and then put on my foundation, like kind of doing this backwards, you all. Okay, not trying to flash the titties at you either. Simple, simple, simple. I just literally buffed in it. Do you see how the texture now matches? So now it looks like my face is just naturally flawless because my chest is too. Do you see how this all matches now? What I do to lock it in is I just take the Melanie Mills Hollywood setting spray. This is my favorite spray. I'm not going to spray the whole face yet because I'm still doing my makeup. I'm just going to spray this on my chest and neck. Just a light layer like that. This locks it down so it's not going to transfer to my clothes. It's going to last all day. No one's going to know that you put foundations near the ditties. Next up, now we're going to brighten. I know this feels like a lot of product, you all. This is a full glam makeup. This is not the makeup I do when I'm running errands. This is when I'm going to business meeting, I'm going out on a date, but I will still want to get the coverage that I need. So I take the Natasha Denona. I can never say it. Natasha Denona concealer. This is N3. I'm going to put just a little bit in here, and I know everyone's like, oh, don't put it in the triangle shape, it's outdated. I want to brighten, and I need coverage in here for that redness. And my dark circles, I'm telling you, they're barking, they need coverage. So I'm going to take that angled concealer brush from Anissa, and I just put it here under the eyes, and I want to kind of highlight the center of my face and give just a little bit more coverage that I need. Because I'm doing light layers in person, this doesn't look too heavy. Do you see that? See how it's still giving me that glow? Okay, get you some cheap bags of sponges from Amazon. They're like $6 for this whole bag, you guys. They look like this. I've always done this technique for years. I've done it. So One Size Beauty powder. I really, really like this one. I'm going to put some in the cap just like that. I'm going to pick up a little bit on the sponge, just kind of smush, 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 smush. We're going to scrape off the excess. You see all that excess coming off because I don't want a lot of powder. This is where a lot of people start to look cakey. They put too much powder on. So we're going to take a little bit only in the T-zone where you get oily. We're not putting this all over the face. We're not baking. We're not caking. We're not packing the powder on. That is 2016. That's not 2023. I make sure to really get here under the eyes, you all. I know this may seem like it's going to get cakey, but I'm telling you, doing that sponge and doing light layers of concealer, it's not going to look thick and cakey if you do it right. And then my chin gets a little oily, so I put a little bit here and on the nose, center of forehead, that's it. Okay, do you see how I'm still getting some shine in here because I didn't put powder there? Okay, take the Rose & Ben C41 brush. It's an angled brush like this. I like it because it's really big and fluffy. I'm using the Makeup by Mario bronzer. This is a powder bronzer, but it's not going to look cakey or anything. I'm going to apply this here under the cheekbone and bring it up to kind of add warmth to the face. And then because this brush is so big, it works really good for just kind of putting it around the forehead. If you have a small forehead, I would skip this step. I got a lot of space up here. I gotta contour this down. You know what I'm saying? and then this side. Boy, Lexi, you're really getting a good snore session in there, aren't you? Okay. And then I'm going to put a little bit here under the jawline just to kind of help streamline it, carve it out just a little bit. If you feel that that's too much, just kind of take the brush, wipe it off on a towel. I always keep on my lap and start tapping it until it blends out. Don't do swiping motions, you guys. You're going to do tapping. Because we didn't set all of this with powder, when you put powder on top, it can stick if you start doing like a swiping motion. So as you can see, anytime I'm applying the bronzer and stuff, I'm patting it so it doesn't pick up the foundation. Okay, for the cheeks, you all, I'm going to actually use a lipstick for a blush because some of the cream blushes I have out there are a little bit too thick, a little bit sticky. So I just use a lipstick, but I make sure it's a balm type formula. So these ones by Sephora that have the silver case right here, I have no idea what color this is because their naming sucks on these. But I picked a color that's kind of bright like this, a peachy color, but do you see how much shine it has to it? That works beautifully as a blush. Every time I do this technique and I use lipstick as a blush, you guys, I'm not even joking. I get people stopping saying, what are you wearing on your cheeks? Your skin looks so beautiful. I'm like, it's a lipstick, works every time, and it saves you some money. Let's apply this with that bronzing brush from Anissa. So what I do is I put the lipstick up like this, and let me show you actually the lip color just so you guys can see what it looks like. Because if you're in a hurry, just put them on both. Put them on your lips and your cheeks so it kind of matches. But what I do is I take that bronzing brush and I just stipple it on here like this. Do you see how it's like an even coat of color? You can tap it on the back of your hand if you are kind of worried about it. And I literally just stipple it here on the cheekbones. And again, don't do a swiping motion, do a stippling. So you don't want to pick up that foundation. But look at the shine there. Do you guys see the shine? Because it's such a creamy formula, it really just looks like a nice dewy wet skin. Look at that. So pretty. Okay, are you ready for this life-altering eyeshadow technique that works on everyone? Make sure you set your lids with some powder. So I take the One Size Beauty and that concealer brush, and I just dust a base powder on. I always do this before my eye makeup so that it doesn't crease and it helps the blending be better on top. You always need to set a base powder down. Even if you're using a primer, you guys, like a sticky primer, I always still put a powder down. So here's the first step to our base. You're gonna take a cream shadow stick in a dark color, dark brown, dark navy, dark black, gray. I'm gonna choose this one from Laura Mercier. This is the color Plum, so it's a dark purpley color. I'm gonna take a really tiny dome brush like this, and we're gonna use this to enhance the upper lash line. So we're only gonna focus on the outer part of the lash line. Stop halfway. We're not gonna come in past the halfway point because then that starts closing the eyes off. For this to work on every eye shape, I need to keep that color out here and bring it up slightly. Do you see that? It's close to the lash line, but I smoked it up, kind of like a baby wing, just like that. That's our base. Now I'll switch to a little bit bigger dome brush. Here's the size I use for the cream, really small. This is a Makeup Geek Define crease brush, may she rest in peace, but this is the shape that you're looking for. Let me show you the size. So something kind of small so it doesn't apply too much product. Okay, I'm gonna use the Color Rain Rebellious Nudes palette. I love this nudes palette because it has such great warm brown colors. If you love warm browns, this is it. This technique works with any color. You can do this exact same technique every single day, switch it up with a different color. No one will know. I'm gonna go in with what rules, a rich warm brown like this. If you have deeper skin, I would go in with this kind of depth of color. If you have really fair skin, go somewhere in here. You want something that's like 4 shades darker than your skin, any color, purple, brown, whatever. You're gonna put this on top of that liner and blend it up just like that. I know this is coming across really orange on camera, but let me show you the next step. So I'm doing this kind of shape like this. I'm keeping the V, but now it's a little bit larger V, if that makes sense. Okay, now same brush, going with a little bit darker color. I'm gonna go in with Grown Up Things, this kind of plummy brown. We're gonna keep this close to the lash line again, and same thing, start to blend it up. Do you see the shape of that shadow, you all? It's still V shape, but we just kind of have layered it up. It's like dark, medium, light as it goes up. That's the shape and technique you want. Now to darken that lash line a little bit more, I'm gonna switch to a flat brush like this and just go in with that black color right here and kind of touch up that lash line again just to darken it. Going with that deep plum color again if I need to blend it out. Like that. If you need to soften in here because I don't want really any shadow in here, you can just take any sort of clean blending brush and buff it out. And then if you have a lot of lid space like I do, you can put a little color here. If you don't have a lot of lid space, skip this step. You're done there. That's really good. I'm going to go in with Moods, which is this kind of tan color. It's just a few shades darker than my skin. And put this in the crease only because I need a little bit of dimension because I've got so much space going on in here. I want to fill that. It's pretty much just to create some shading is all. We're not really adding color. I'm just trying to create some depth. So again, skip that stuff if you don't have a lot of lid space there. This right here is the most important part, this kind of smoky cat eye shape. Next step is to take a shimmery shadow, not metallic, not foiled. We want something shimmery. Let me show you the difference. Do you see how this is really metallic-y, but this just has a slight sheen to it? This is from the ColourPop Lust for Dust palette. I chose this Sunset Chase versus something metallic like this, slight sheen to it. So that same brush we used earlier, we're gonna pick up some of that and just apply it here near the inner tear duct. This is just to open up the eyes and brighten it. And I don't want it too metallic. I literally just want to brighten the eyes. And then we want to diffuse it a little bit. So you can just take a bigger brush if you want and really just soften this out. So I want just a slight sheen like that. So let's curl our lashes and put on our mascara to see how this pulls together. I'm using the Dior Show Blackout. It's a really good mascara on that outer lash line right there. Okay, let me show you guys how that looks. Do you see how it's just simple? It's understated. It's very on trend because it's not too much. But if you want this look to be oofed up a little bit, maybe for a date night, you want to put some lashes on. We're not doing strip lashes anymore. That's 2016. Not that I'm judging anyone who wears strip lashes, but you know, we are switching to little trios or single lashes. So I got these from Kiss. And what you're going to do, I put my little glue in that glue pocket. I like the Huda Beauty lash glue. You're gonna take the singles and put these only on the outer edge of the eye. We're not gonna put them all across. We just want a couple on the outer edge, again, to lift the eyes. That's what makes this look so flattering for every eye shape, is that it's lifting. There's not a single person on this planet that doesn't look good with a slightly lifted eye. So dip it in that glue and literally just drop it a couple. We'll do 2, maybe 3 at most. Jill, see the difference between this eye and this eye? It's super subtle, but look, it just looks like my natural lashes, but it's lifted because it's on the outer corner. Then let's finish the look with a nice brown lip liner. This is Gerard Cosmetics lip liner in Sugar and Spice. It's such a nice formula. It's really creamy, and I love this color because it's nice, soft, muted brown. And there you go. There's the look. Just super elegant, classy, put together, but still a little bit glamorous. I feel like this is very on trend, and I'm telling you guys, this eye technique works on everyone. Every skin color, every eye shape, doesn't matter. So try it out. Let me know in the comments what you think, if it worked for you or not. I want to hear your feedback. So have a great week, you guys. Subscribe to my channel. Come back next week for another Makeup Monday. I'll see you soon. Bye.